and your camera's got a lot of headroom. Do you want to tip it down, or can you
just get more of a messy desk? So it's just a matter of.
All right. So, Dave, we're going to record a few things about Next, about the platform, and what I basically want to start with, just warm you up a little bit. Describe the genesis, if you would, of the Next platform.
Okay. So Next came about because of the fact that as an event organizer myself, I ran into the dilemma that there are no truly reliable options in terms of people finding out what's going on at any given time. People will sit here and say, I saw that on Facebook. Okay. Can you find that again on Facebook? No. People will say, you know, someone told me about that. Oh, okay. Do you know where to go find out more about that? No. All right. Search on Google. Okay. Probably find it on Google maybe, but you know, not always. And you'd have to even know about it to ask to search for it. Right. Then they're like, okay, there's things like Eventbrite or services like that sell tickets. And yeah, I mean, they do an okay job, but, still not as reliable. Basically because the fact that they are only reporting what they sell tickets for. And then beyond that, and you've got competing services like that from that are like Ticketmaster. Another one, again, they only promote what they sell tickets for. And then beyond that, you have discount services like Groupon, and basically they've got events in there only because they're kind of a necessary evil, and they're being used because everybody can pay a really cheap price to get into the event. The only problem is what most people don't realize is that the event organizer is going broke doing that. So it doesn't play out as well. And so I, as another event organizer, needed something that I could count on as an organizer to be able to promote, that I know that my audience could count on to be able to go to and find out what's going on at any given time without any biasness. Right? Because that's been one of the biggest problems. Most of these run with a biasness, right? Because either they're selling the tickets, or as long as the price point's right, or whatever is the reason why they're running it. And so Next was the brainchild of that, to the extent that I decided I wanted to have something that would become that reliable go-to source, that solution that is online 24/7, that gives you access at any given time to pull up next.com or mynext.us in this case, and be able to say, okay, I'm in, you know, Pensacola, Florida, and I want to know what's going on in Pensacola, Florida today or this weekend or what have you. And you put that address in there, and bam, it tells you everything that's happening in Pensacola, Florida at that time. And again, without any biasness. It's not because, you know, I'm selling tickets, or it's because this person's paying more for advertising or whatever. It's because we have a directory that basically offers you the ability to access any events at any given time with no biasness, right? And so that's where we've gone with it. That's what we're working on developing. We have some early stages that we're doing it with it right now, and eventually, and the hope is within the next year or so, we'll be able to reach full potential with this project, and it will be that and so much more that will give people what they need in order to be able to find out what's going on at any given time.
Okay, good. Thank you. Now, let's dive a little bit into who are the players and who does what to get value from Next.
So we have different categories. The first one is the event organizers, as I've already mentioned, right? And so they're what we refer to as partners. And those partners are the ones that are basically providing the content, right? They're the ones that are coming in at any given time and being able to list their events and the details and the, you know, the link to buy and all the other stuff like that that goes along with their events on a platform that pretty much gives them a dedicated page and allows them to promote their event completely and be able to gain the exposure because it's there 24/7 without any biasness. The other side of that is obviously the users, right, which we call members. And those are the individuals that are able to, as I mentioned before, go online at any given time and go to mynext.us and be able to type in an address and be able to find out anything that's happening in that immediate area at any given time. And so they're the ones that are using the application that basically is serving the need that the promoters instilled in the first place by posting their event. Because obviously if they're going to post their event, they want people to go and find out about their event. And so that's the counterpoint to that. Complementary to all that is the advertisers, and those are businesses in any one of those given markets or globally or nationally that are going to be able to advertise their business and in a lot of ways in a targeted manner or in a general manner to any of our audience at any given time, whether they're visiting a specific community page, a specific event, or just browsing the platform in general.
Okay, so those three major players, partners for content, members who use the platform to consume the content and to find out where it is, and then the advertisers, sponsors who basically underwrite and pay.
Right.
So what does it take to get each of those players enrolled and involved in building out the next platform?
Awareness, for the most part. You're looking at the fact that we are introducing something that has not existed yet. There's versions of it, again, like we pointed out, with some of the competing services. But at the end of the day here, no one knows about Next other than the term. And so there's going to be a learning curve that we have to overcome. In doing so, the idea is that we're going to be doing a lot of grassroots efforts in terms of reaching out to all the event organizers. At the same time, we're going to be using grassroots efforts on social media and other, social platforms to be able to generate the membership, the audience in that case. With the organizers, the solicitation, the opportunity is going to be simply that we are gradually building an audience that's getting larger and larger and larger as it goes. In doing so, it's going to give them more and more and more exposure, especially if they work with us and co-promote with us and help us build the audience. And as more other organizers do this, it builds a larger audience that each of them get to take advantage of. So it's in their best interest to cooperate with us, to co-promote with us, and take advantage of the fact that if they promote Next and Next promotes them, that just snowballs. And then in terms of the audience itself, we have a number of different tools and strategies we're going to be putting into play to be able to help generate the audience and the usability of the application. The audience, for the most part, is first and foremost going to be presented with the opportunity that they have a service that is reliable, that gives them access to anything going on in their area at any given time, right? That all they got to do is pull up the website, type in their location, and it'll tell them everything's happening at that given moment, right? For that day, that weekend, or what have you. It'll also allow them to be able to pull up by theme. So let's say they just want to find out about all the music things happening in that area at that given time. They can do it that way as well. So that convenient tool is going to be one of the things that's going to ideally appeal to them first. Beyond that, we are going to use incentives. Incentives are going to be in the form of giveaways, right? The whole idea here is that we want to reward them, right? So the rewards are going to come in the form of tickets, giveaways, things that they're going to be able to earn or receive because they are participating or they're using the application and can earn or receive tickets on even as much as a monthly basis to be able to go to things in their area. Okay, so there's a reward system that comes from the tickets that we offer. We're also going to gamify the application in a later version that would allow users, as they go through and use the application, they can earn fun little badges and incentives that will serve eventually as points that will allow them to earn other things like dinners, maybe trips, other things like that we're going to do to help kind of just continue the incentivizing of the usability of the app to keep rewarding them for their use.
Okay, good. Let's go deeper into what are the handful of events that we feel will be most most heavily searched or sought after, that in order to kind of hone down to who are the partners that we want to entice to be part of Next? Give me the top 5 or 6 kinds of partners. What are they promoting? What kinds of events?
Most of them are going to be festivals of some type, car shows or another, street fairs or another, music events are going to be another, food events are going to be another. Those are going to be your core, really, because those are your commonplace ones in most cases. So those are going to be the ones that we're going to be seeing the most attention from. But we're going to go all the way down to nightclub events and things like that. We're setting a barometer, or I mean, I should say a metric, to where we're going to be looking to basically offer promotion to any event that's, let's say, 200 people plus an audience size. This way, you know, if it's somebody's little, you know, 15 or 20 meeting or something else, you know, person meeting, not really what we're looking to promote, right? We're looking for, you know, community type events, nightclub events, things like that on a small scale, to where there's at least a couple hundred people going, because that's something that people are going to want to know about. One of the biggest things we ran into in some of our research is we found out that there's these cool parties and events that are happening in all kinds of places all over San Diego, all over other communities around the country. And most people have no idea about them, right? Certain people I've met know. I know about some, and others know about others, but that's a select few. And
how do you know about them? How do people know about stuff that other people don't?
Because they're in those circles, right? They're in those circles and they're paying attention to that. It always points back to, what are you paying attention to? That's what you're going to find. So in this case here, there's parties that are paying attention to that. And so that's the ones that you'll see them, and they attended this cool band event, or they went to this after party, or they went to this, and it's because they're in those circles and they're paying attention to that. But that doesn't have to be the case anymore, because a platform like this, we're going to break into those circles, and we're going to encourage those individuals to promote on the Next platform as well. So that way their audience, their exposure, their reach can grow, and they can become a much more popular event, and ideally a much more profitable event as a result.
So why isn't this already happening out in social media? What have people not seen as far as the value for this? Why is this?
Facebook has a version of it, and they've attempted it, but their algorithms keep screwing it up. And so it's not, again, reliable. For whatever reason, you've got an entity like Facebook, and they cull a lot of events. And again, there is actually, most people don't realize there's a dedicated event app for Facebook that most people don't even realize, I think. Because I've asked many, and most of them will tell me they do not have that. And so what you don't realize is that, you know, there is that, but it's another app to open, I guess, is maybe part of the problem. And the other thing is that, again, it's unreliable, because it doesn't offer neutrality. There's biasness, there's algorithms filtering out things. So that way you only see what's in your immediate area, right? You don't get to know about other things like that. And so it doesn't really sit here and allow you to say, all right, I'm now in Pensacola, Florida, right? It's going to show me that. Instead, no, it's going to take wherever your home base is. Let's say it's, in my case, Oceanside, California. It's only going to show you what's going on in Oceanside, California, right? So unreliable. Services like Eventbrite, their ticketing agency, Ticketmaster is another one, the ticket agency, right? You can go and you can pull up their schedule, and they've got a great calendar, and it lists a bunch of really neat things that are coming up that are all using Ticketmaster to sell. But it's only the ones using Ticketmaster to sell. So there's a biasness there, right? They're not offering up all the events. They're only offering up the ones that they sell.
Okay, good.
Okay. So there's limitations with each of them, and it's most likely probably by their design. Facebook has its reasons for its algorithms, and so therefore that's what you get. But it's Facebook, so it doesn't care, because at the end of the day, it's doing something more than most are doing, and so therefore you'll continue to use it.
Okay,
right?
good. Good. Now let's take a breath. And what I'd like you to do is to revisit the first question we had, and I'd like you to do it in as short a possible period of time as you can, as if we are on an elevator going up to the 20th floor. You basically have about 30 seconds to tell me, hey, what do you do? And I'm gonna ask you that, and I want you to give me the most concise version of what the next platform can do. So, hi, Dave. I'm Eddie. What do you do?
Okay.
There's your question.
There's my question. Okay. So, yeah, give me a second here.
Yeah. No, this is just for us, so there's no issue with gather your thoughts.
Hi, I'm Eddie. What do you do? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You would think I'd be just ready to answer this.
No,
It should
that's
be
fine.
Hang on.
Well, you got so much going on in your head there.
Yeah, that's never a problem, right? Yeah. Okay. I am Eddie. What do you do? All right. Well, Eddie, I actually represent a platform that we're building to be able to solve the question of what's going on. We're using a full service 24/7 online application that you at any given time, wherever you are, whenever you are, can type in your location and it'll tell you exactly what's happening in your area without any biasness, and it's fully reliable.
Interesting. Now, when you say what's happening, what do you mean what's happening? Like what type of things?
Anything, any event you're looking for, whether it's festivals, concerts, music events, food events, car shows, expos, conventions, anything that could be happening. It can be all the way down to the club at the party at the nightclub tonight.
So how would I use this? How would I get this information?
You just simply go to mynext.us, type in your location, and it'll tell you right where to go.
And who makes money and how?
Everybody. Everybody. So, yeah, so basically the platform is designed first and foremost to be able to help the consumer and help the promoter. Okay? So it's set up in such a way to where there is no immediate cost to either party. All right? The user can go in, use the service for free, and be able to access any of the events in their location at any given time. In fact, we're making it even sweeter than that, and we're offering them the ability to earn tickets on a monthly basis to an event in their area to be able to go try out or check out. Okay? For the promoter, we're trying to help the promoter. We're promoters ourselves. We know the challenge, and so we decided to create a platform that allows promoters like us to be able to have a reliable communication tool to the audience, to be able to build their audience, to be able to promote their events, and to be able to get the revenue back where it belongs.
So finally, what is the quickest way to get this to market?
Quickest way to get this to market is exposure. The more people that know about it, the more people that see it, the more people that start using it, the faster it will grow. And the biggest thing we're going to be taking advantage of is we're going to be using ambassador programs and affiliate programs that allow us to do so. We're going to have ambassadors, which we call agents of Next. They're going to be out in the community, designated parties that are going to be in the community as representatives of Next in any given town, any given city, that are going to be able to create some of that brand exposure that we're talking about. And on top of that, we're going to be incentivizing everybody that comes in as a member to turn around and invite other people to sign up to help them earn more points to be able to get bigger and better tickets and bigger and better rewards.
So is the key to go after promoters of events first so that you populate the content side, the event side of the equation, or to go after users or are equally in both camps?
This is a chicken and egg question. So realistically, you want concurrent. You want them to be concurrent. But if you're really looking for what the early stage is, I would say it is definitely the promoters first, because if the people go there and there's no content, they won't come back.
Okay, great. Okay, good, Dave. Let's review this. I'll send you a link to it. and then we'll talk some more about it. Okay.
Okay.
Good job,
Hey,
man.
real quick, we also need to give a response